Alright, what's up everybody? It is Carlos Collects Comics and I'm back with another episode of Monday Hauls. And I've got some pretty cool stuff from the local comic shop and one shipment that came in from a YouTube auction. And I can't wait to share with you my pickups from this past week. So stay tuned. Alright, so here we are. It is another episode of Monday Hauls, and thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you've been getting something out of these different videos that I've been putting together with books that I'm picking up on a weekly basis, as well as my recommendations. And I'm working on solidifying both a spotlight pick and a spec pick for each week. And I can't wait to share those with you. So let's go ahead and get started with the shipment that came in from a YouTube claim sale. This was from the Strictly Comics Affordable Auction, and one of the sellers on there that I connect with is his name's Andrew Smolansky, and he sent over some books that I'm pretty excited to add to the personal collection. The first of those is Avengers number 80. It's a nice 15 center. Here in about, I'm putting it at a fine to very fine condition. This is the first appearance of the original Red Wolf. Now, some of you know that the first appearance of the second Red Wolf was in Marvel Premiere number 1, but this is the original one that showed up here. And this is a book that I'd wanted to have in the collection, but just hadn't come across a copy. I like the character Red Wolf since he came out in Werewolf by Night Volume 3, which is the current run that everybody's jumping on because it's rumored that character, that Werewolf by Night, the latest iteration, is going to appear in the Marvel Halloween special for 2022. This is not the Red Wolf that appears in that series, but this is the original Red Wolf, and so I wanted it's one that I wanted to have in here in the collection, and was real glad to pick that up for an affordable price. This set is a storyline set that it's one of those ones that you always pass over. It's so iconic. You pass it up in back issue bins and you come across it, but I just never picked it up. And then the news of the Kraven the Hunter casting hit, and then all of a sudden the prices started to go up on it. It was always respectably a $5 to $10 per book set. Then it started jumping up to $10 to $15 to even in some cases $20 per book, depending on condition. These are decent, average grade of about 7.5-ish or so, even as high as 8 or so. But it is 1 through 6 of the Kraven's Last Hunt storyline. And so that includes Web of Spiderman number 31. Amazing Spider-Man number 293 with this iconic Kraven Hunter, or Kraven cover. Spectacular Spider-Man number 131 for part 3. Web of Spider-Man number 32, another iconic cover, and that's part 4. Part 5, Amazing Spider-Man 294. These covers are just awesome. This kind of 2 and 3 tone coloring that they went with. And then that's part 5, and then part 6 is from Peter Parker, Spectacular Spider-Man 132. And this is part 6 of it. And so I was able to get these in, decent price. It would have been better if I just picked them up back when I'd eyed them, but it's like any other thing in collecting. There's always going to be those books you say, I'll get that one later. But then later comes along and the price skyrockets because of some announcement or something like that. But I'm glad to have those books in. Thanks to Andrew. Check out the Wednesday claim sale on the Strictly Comics YouTube channel. Got a lot of great buys. Got some really great panel members, and I was glad to pick those up and add those to the collection. So now here's my LCS pickups for this week. I've got Moon Knight number 2. I went ahead and grabbed this. This is not the current issue. 3 I think is coming out like just within a week or so. I did add it to my pull list. Like I told you, I think in one of the previous videos, I read issue number 1 and was really impressed with it. I thought they did a really good job of just relaunching the character, rebooting him, and adding some, just kind of wrapping everything up in his varied history and setting up a story that's going to be able to move forward and have some interesting stuff in it. As everybody knows, Nocterra has blown up, and that's a pick that I had for a book that just should have been on everybody's pull list at this point, but wasn't. And now those have started to go up. I had not picked up, I think, a couple of the latest issues, which was number 5, and I think this is cover A, and number 6, also the cover A. So I went ahead and grabbed those and decided to bring them home because I haven't kept up with it, even though I've picked up issues here and there, and I'd mainly focused on picking up issue 1 and hadn't done so. And so that's something I was glad to come across them, and because I think the early issues, like 1 through 6, are going to be harder and harder to pick up moving forward. So that is my spec pick for the week, is Nocterra. Obviously everybody knows about it, but they're still very easy to come by. Not everybody's caught on to them. If you're one of the ones that knows about Nocterra and has been picking them up since the announcement, believe it or not, there's still 50% of the comic community that has no clue who or what Nocterra is, and they haven't caught on to it yet. So they're still out there. I had a friend pick up 2 of the 1 in 10s for undercover price at a local comic shop just, I think, a few days ago. And this is well after the announcement. And the comic shop just didn't know what they had. And so he got them. So Nocterra is still a worthwhile spec pick. Issue number 1s are going for now, around $20 or more. Still a bargain, because we all know it's going to go up, because the concept is awesome, and the storytelling and art is great, and it's going to end up being a solid show. And it's confirmed that the deal has gone through to bring it to a streaming service, so we'll just see more. So now's the time to still be picking up issues 1 through 6, and whatever variants float your boat. I'm not, you know me, I'm not a big variant guy, but yeah, it's, for ones like this, yeah, sure, go ahead and pick up a few here and there, but always focus on cover A. This one had like a whole bunch of the regular covers, and my favorite among them was the Boss Logic, which is cover D, and that one just is a killer cover. It's digital art, but it's a killer cover. So that's a spec pick for the week. Pirate Queen number 1 came out from Bad Idea. Now this was part of what they're calling the Final 5, and I did go ahead and get the Final 5 pre-order, so this was in my box, in my pull list. I've seen that these are also going up. This is an excellent piece of work here, and I think all of Bad Idea's stuff is great. I've said that before. I think, I think Tankers was my least favorite out of all of them, but it's really original stuff, and there's no change in here. So this is going to be my spotlight pick for the week, is Pirate Queen. This is just the first issue. There are still more coming. Like in my LCS, which is actually, it's a fairly big LCS, so they do have a lot, but there were still copies of this on the stand. And I know that now that in the aftermarket they're going for $20 and $30 a piece. I can't tell you whether or not to spend that much on it, but I will say I'm betting on Bad Idea. I'm picking up all their books, all of them, whether they're freebies or whether they're ones that I'm purchasing. But I have ended up with most of the Bad Idea books, and I've been fairly pleased with the quality and with just what they're doing and what their potential moving forward. So spotlight pick for the week, Pirate Queen number 1. We Only Find Them When They're Dead number 8. I've enjoyed it, but I have gone ahead and dropped We Only Find Them When They're Dead off of my pull list. Not because of any reason, but just because I wanted to streamline my pull list and focus it down to just a few titles, and then have other monies opened up for older books and for spec picks. So I did drop that off, but I've got plenty of the early issues. So I think it's, it's still worth picking up, but, if you're into that particular title, but for me, it's just kind of lost a little bit of interest. Star Wars: The High Republic #9. This is the first cameo appearance of a new character, and this is the Star Wars: The High Republic books have continued to be a strong pick, and I think it's just consistent good storytelling and art. A lot of cool characters, so I recommend The High Republic. But I also recommend the High Republic Adventures from IDW, which a lot of people I think are still missing out on. And those books are there. We know that a High Republic franchise, series is coming to Disney Plus. Again, it's, High Republic Adventures. If you're not picking it up, if you're not snagging those first issues when they come in the ratio variants, you're missing out. So I hope you do it. Batman Fear State Alpha. Didn't know much about this one, but my LCS put both A cover and B cover in my pull list, or in my pull box. And yeah, I don't mind. Then I'll pick it up and read it and check it out and see what it's all about. Haven't read it yet, but looking forward to doing that. Miles Morales Spider-Man annual #1. Just had to grab that from a Miles run. And then, like I said before, Star Wars High Republic Adventures #8. So this is a strong pick for me that I think, I've recommended it before, and I think you should be getting it. Now, this one I haven't read. This wasn't a spotlight or a spec pick of the week, but I still think it's going to be an enjoyable read. I haven't gotten to it yet. Telepaths #1 by J. Michael Straczynski. He is an excellent writer. He's the guy who brought us Rising Stars, an iconic run of Amazing Spider-Man, a great run of Thor. He's done a lot of comic writing. He's done a lot of television writing. And this just looks like a really cool premise where the world has turned on these people that have special abilities. So one of mine, an AWA Upshot is not really talked a lot about, but they've got some really good stuff. They're the same ones who did Erratic and Bite Sized, which are other books that I've picked and said, hey, these are great books to pick up and ones that are well worth it. So I added that. Definitely was glad to grab that cover A at one of my LCSs. Last pickup for this week is a book that's caused a little bit of controversy, and I'm going to point out why. Is Ultimate Fallout 4, the facsimile edition, and I did go ahead and snag 3 copies of it because it's a perfect reproduction of Ultimate Fallout 4, and it's these facsimiles go for a lot more, and I'm not even talking about the scammers who intentionally try to fool people about which version that they're getting. They just the facsimiles, if people can't afford the original printing, then they're going to look for later printings, and this as a facsimile is a great book to have to be able to pick up and read and flip through. So the controversy around it is that this book is almost an exact replica of the original, and unless you know what to look for, and that's why I'm one of the ones that's trying to spread the word so that people don't get duped on eBay and end up buying this thinking that they're getting a great deal on the first print, because there's only 2 small differences in it. The crazy thing is the price, the cover price of this book is the same cover price as the original. So you can't even tell by the price. Some of the older facsimiles, yeah, you see the $3.99 price tag on it, but it's the same. I mean, it's obviously that a $3.99 facsimile of an originally cover price 15-cent book, yeah, you're going to notice that. But the cover price is the same, $3.99 as the original that came out. So it can be very, very tricky to for new comic collectors to get to know to be able to tell the difference now that these are out and they're spread out and they're everywhere. So here's the 2 differences on them. All right, if you look at right here, the Marvel logo, on the facsimile it's red and in a box. On the original it's I think like a gray box. It's not the red Marvel logo. So the red Marvel logo is going to be the quickest, easiest tell for whether or not this is the facsimile of the original. So this is a facsimile and it's a red Marvel box. The other difference is in the barcode here. The barcode on the original is off of the edge, whereas this one's on the edge. But this is not as easy to tell. But it's really the Marvel logo in the red box that you're going to be looking for. So I wanted to make sure and point that out because I know a lot of people, I was on a panel and we were talking about it, and a lot of people were just kind of saying that this, new collectors especially are going to get fleeced on this, because there's already some of these that are on eBay that have started to go for crazy prices because people just aren't aware of it yet. And that's a shame that happens and there's people that'll do that, but it's the best we can do is just help get the word out. So now, if you didn't know about that and you've just seen it, spread the word. Spread the word with people that there are facsimiles now that are almost completely identical to the original first printings. And yeah, I do have a first printing in a 9.8. So I looked at them and held them side by side and said, man, these you would never really know by it, but yeah. So that's been this issue, or that's been this episode of Monday Hauls, and I want to encourage you to like the video, comment below, let me know what you think about the books that I shared about today. Let me know about your opinion on my spotlight pick, or my spec pick, which is Nocterra, or my spotlight pick, which is Pirate's Queen, or Pirate Queen. What you thought about that. And above all, consider subscribing because I have a lot of other content that I'm going to continue to share. I've got new Friday features that have dropped, including this past week that was the top 80s cartoon-based comics that you should be picking up right now. So make sure to check those out as well. I'm going to be announcing, because I have broken 100 subscribers, I'm going to be announcing very soon a 100 subscriber giveaway. Everybody that's a subscriber and subscribes until then will be able to win this. We'll be in the running to win this, and I'll do a little like a little randomizer or something to give it away. But I'm really looking forward to doing some giveaways now that the channel is a little bit, starting to grow a little bit. So again, a lot of fun hanging out with you. Hope this was a big help to you. And this is Carl's Collects Comics signing off, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Thanks.